Hello and welcome to another Brainworks Education lecture video with our Mathematics Paper 2 focus. And today we are going to do a very interesting topic that's very easy. If you understand how to plot a straight line, if you understand that every line that we have, this topic is called linear programming, by the way. So the basic things that you have to understand about linear programming is straight lines, basically. Once you understand straight lines or linear equations, be able to understand this topic quite in detail. And in a previous class, I remember telling you about different types of straight lines. The first straight line that I want you to know is the basic straight line in the form y is equals to mx plus c, because this topic we're practically going to be plotting lines. If I were to make a simple coordinate so that I show you all the different types of lines that you're going to encounter. Say this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. The first line that you're going to encounter is going to look like this. To be this line here, it's going to have y is equals to mx plus. It's going to have a gradient. It's going to have a y-intercept. So this is the y-intercept where this line crosses the y-axis. Then the other line that we're going to encounter is in the form, we first write it here, which is y is equals to mx. So this line y is equals to mx does not have a y-intercept, but it's going to cut through origin. So it's going to be that line here. So this will be the line y is equals to mx. The other line that you're going to encounter is y is equals to a. So this line y is equals to a is a line that's very parallel to the x-axis. So it will be this line here, parallel to the x-axis. So for example, if they say y is equivalent to 3, and 3 will be there, so this will be the line y is equals to 3. The other line that you're going to encounter is x is equals to a, so this line will be parallel to the y-axis, to be this line here, to be this line there. For example, if they say maybe x is equals to 5, that will be 5 there, meaning this will be the line x is equals to 5. Maybe the last line will be y is equals to x. So this line y is equals to x won't cut through here, but it will pass through origin like so. So this will be the line y is equals to x. So these are the linear equations that you're going to encounter as we are doing coordinate geometry. And every time you have an inequality or an inequation, you just have to express it in linear form and it will be one of these lines. And just by reading the English, you'll be able to identify the equations that you need. And you'll be able to plot them and shade. And I'm going to show you how you're going to shade those through an examination question, of course. We can't run away from that. So we're going to do 2 questions. We'll plot the graphs. And I want you to revise this video over and over again. So here, the question says we have a businessman who has 2 types of vehicles, namely sedan and van for sale. He orders at least 60 sedans. I'm not so good at these vehicles, but when they say at least 60 sedans and at least 20 vans, it means the minimum has to be 60. So it has to be either 60 or greater than 60, because they said at least 60 sedans and at least 20 vans. He orders not more than 180 vehicles, so not more than 180 vehicles. He makes sure that the number of vans ordered are not more than the number of sedans ordered. given that X represents the number of sedans, X represents sedans, and Y will represent vans. Write the four inequalities to satisfy the above conditions. So the first inequality is here. Orders at least 60 sedans. It means the lowest number of sedans that you should order should be either equal to 60 or greater than 60. So this inequality will be X is greater than 60 or equal to 60. So that's the minimum number of sedans that he's supposed to order. So this is the first inequality. You can get 1 mark, very easy. This is how you pass an exam. The second one says at least 20 vans. So meaning Y is either greater than 20 or the exact same number. So at least 20 vans. So this will be the second inequality that you need. Then the third inequality is here. So he orders not more than 180 vehicles. So it means the vans, the sedans plus the vans, if we add them together, they should be less or equal to 108. So it shouldn't exceed 108. You get another mark. Then the last one says he made sure that the vans ordered are not more than the number of sedans ordered. So it means Y is less than X. So this is the last inequality. So the number of vans represented by Y are not more than the number of sedans. So Y is less than X. This is the fourth inequality. And what I will say is that if there is an equal to sign, greater or equal to, less than or equal to, the line that you're going to draw is going to be a solid line. Then if it's less than here or equal, less than here or greater than without the equal to sign, the line is going to be dotted. And always remember this mnemonic, la, like, you know, like you're saying, like la, if it's less than, you shade above. Meaning if it's greater than, shade below. La GB. Like, you know what, you people have WhatsApp GB nowadays, so it's easy remembering this. It's greater than, you shade below the line. If it's less than, you shade above. So here it's greater than, you shade above. You shade above. Here it's less, here it's greater than, you shade below. Here it's less than, you shade above. This is greater than, you shade below the line. This is less than, you shade above. So it will be careful to remember this. So we've gotten our 4 marks. And remember, once you just get 8, so once you figure out the inequalities and once you plot, there is even no need to answer these questions because you're already above average of the 12 marks that you're supposed to get. If you get 8, you're good. Just making the inequalities and plotting. Plotting is very easy because now they are saying using a scale of 2 centimeters to represent 20 vehicles on the x-axis and y-axis. So it's going from 0 to 108. We're going 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, and 180 on both axes. We have to illustrate these inequalities. And remember, they are straight lines. Because they are straight lines, to plot a straight line, you're just going to need two elements, the y-intercept and the x-intercept. Find the y-intercept, x will be equal to 0. And to find the x-intercept, y will be equal to 0. So this will be very easy. So let's try plotting here. As usual, I told you my graph papers are not drawn to scale because I'm using a printable, downloadable graph paper. But I encourage you to draw this diagram to scale, meaning the answers. Of course, the inequalities will be on point, the graph will be on point, but the answers may vary by plus or minus 2 units or so units, but they'll be closer to the actual answer that you're supposed to get. So I urge you to, I remember telling you, buy your graph papers, print them out, and solve this question as accurately as possible. So 2 centimeters, so one box, 2 centimeters. So this will be 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180. This is the x-axis, so this will be sedans as x-axis. Then we do the same, 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 160, then finally, just move just slightly a bit, we have 180 there. This is the y-axis, so this will be vans as the y-axis. So this is how your graph should look like. Of course, make proper horizontal scales. So I extend this mouse. Okay. Like so. Then we draw another line. So yeah, something like this. So the first inequality that we had was this one here. It said x greater or equal to 60. So this is simply the line x is equals to 60. Remember this line here, x is equals to 60 is 60. X is equals to 60 is parallel to your y-axis. Where there is 60 on the x-axis, find is there. You just draw a line. Here there's 60 here, so you draw a line like so. So that's the line x is equals to 60, but where is the solution set, ladies and gentlemen? X is greater or equal to 60, so the solution set is this region here. So what we're going to do, we're going to shade the unwanted region because x is equals to 60 is there. Greater than 60 is the other side to my right. So we shade the unwanted regions. We're trying to shade equality, which says x is greater or equal to 60. The region that we are going to shade, the unwanted region, this side. So we shade this unwanted region. Great. Our second inequality was for the sedans. Sorry, was for the vans actually. The vans which represented y. And the equation said the number of vans bought should be greater or equal to 20. So this line here is just y is equals to 20. Y is equals to 20. This line is parallel to the x-axis. So we just find 20, 20 there. We just draw a line like so. So we draw this line here. You can see very much parallel to the x-axis. So here, where's the solution set here? Y is greater or equal to 20. So equal to 20 is there, greater than 20 is there. So the unwanted region is below this line. So this line, when we say Y is greater or equal to 20, our solution set is above. So the unwanted region is definitely down below. Okay. So let's continue. The third line says if we add the number of vans, the number of sedans and the number of vans, we shouldn't exceed 108. So the only thing that we have to do here is plot this line. And to plot this line, we need 2 points. The first point that we're going to need is the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So to find the x-intercept, or rather, let's start with it's fine. To find the x-intercept, we say y is equal to 0. So so we can say x plus y is equivalent to 180. So when y is equal to 0, x is 108. And when y is equal to 0, when y is equal to 0, x plus 0, x is also 108. So these are the points 180, 0 and 180, 0. So these are the two coordinates. The x-axis 180, y is 0, then this one 180, x-axis, 0. When y is equal to 0, okay, great. Sorry, this has to be, yeah, the coordinates are okay, but when x is equal to 0, y is 180. When y is equal to 0, x is 108. So yeah, it should be 0, 108. So these are the coordinates that you have. Just where there is, when x is equal to 0, y is 120. When y is equal to 0, x is still 180. So you just substitute like that. So these coordinates, it's this one here. And the other one, which is 180, 0, is the coordinate there. So this is the line that we're plotting, like so. So we plot this line here. So where are we shading above or below? When it's less than LA, when it's less than, you shade above the line. So our inequality here, which is x plus y, x plus y is greater or equal to 180. Our solution, so it's less than LA, we shade above. We shade above this line. Great. So our last equation was y is equals to x. Our last equation is y is less than x. So we're plotting this line, y is equals to x. I showed you how to plot this line. This line is cuts the y-axis like that. Actually, if I want to draw this line, it has to be dotted because there is no equal to sign. So dotted line. This is y is less than x. When it's less than, shade above the line, or shading above the line, like so. So our solution set Our solution set, let me use yellow, is within this region here. Let me just try to color it so that you can see. I highlight it. So our solution set is within this region here. So this is where our solution set is going to. Okay, 8 marks. If you want, you can even move on to another question because you've gotten all the marks that you need. But we're trying to answer these questions properly. So now let's continue. The question continues, says, if the profit on a sedan is 10,000 kwacha and that of a van is 12,000 kwacha, how many of each type should he order to make a maximum profit? So the answer should be within this solution set. So the highest peak here, this is the maximum number of vans that he should order here. So from here to here, so we have to find the length from there. So from the highest to the lowest point. So from there to there, remember we have an inequality there, and that's the region. So maybe the highest point here is, what's this? It's between, it looks like it's halfway between 80 and 60. The reason why, so just put it half. Just say 80 plus 60 divided by 2, I'll say it's 70. So the maximum amount of vans to make a maximum profit that you should get is 70 vans. 70 vans. Then here, this is the highest point here. It looks like it's somewhere at 165. And there's this inequality there, which is 60. So we have to look at this region between 165 and 60. Say 15 minus 105. 105 sedans, which makes sense because if we add 70, it's 175 because we said you shouldn't have more than 180 cars. So the maximum number of vans that you should get is 70. So this will be 70 vans and 110, 105 sedans. So 105 sedans, 105 sedans. Then we're saying that a sedan is worth 10,000 kwacha. So sedans are, okay, a sedan is worth 10,000 kwacha. So this will be, the maximum number of sedans is 105. So 105 multiplied by 10,000 plus the maximum number of vans is 70 times 12,000 kwacha. That will make a lot of money. So if we add 105 multiplied by 10,000, we are going to get a huge number. 105,123,4 plus 70 times 12,000. That would be 840,000 kwacha. A lot of money. Then we just add that. So this is the maximum profit that he's going to make. Should be, so the maximum profit will be 189,123,4. about 1,890,000 kwacha. So this is the maximum profit that he's going to make. So allow the graph to help you find the answer, and just know how you're supposed to plot inequalities and everything to be. So let's practice more. Let's look at this last question. Remember what I told you, make sure you print out your marking key, get your graph paper and practice these questions. So what's Menda up to? So Menda intends to run a business selling mineral water. So this Menda wants to run a mineral water business. He needs to order at least 10 small bottles. So now you know when they say at least, it's either it's equal to 10 or greater than 10. And at most 60 large bottles. So at most, meaning the highest number of large bottles has to be 60 or less. He decides to order at most 80 bottles of water altogether. So large bottles plus small bottles should not exceed 80 bottles. So you can see that that's already less than inequality. And the number of large bottles he orders should at least be twice that of small bottles. So the number of that would be times 2. So given that, we now follow the equation. So given that X represents small bottles, small bottles, and Y represents large bottles. So we'll just do the same. Once again, the first inequality says he needs to order at least 10 small bottles. So 10 should be greater or equal to, oh no, small bottles is X. So it should be X should be greater or equal to 10. Then at most, he should have at least 60. Let's read together. At most 60 large bottles. So if Y, meaning at most, either it should be less than 60 or equal to 60. So that's the minimum number of large bottles that you're supposed to have. Then the equation says, then altogether he has to have at most 80 bottles. So if we add the number of small bottles that we have and we add the number of large bottles, it shouldn't exceed 80. So it should be less than 80 or it should be equal to 8. That's the third inequality. Easy, right? Then the last one we're saying, the number of large bottles he orders should be at least twice that of small bottles. So the large bottles, Y, should be greater or equal to 2x. So this is the fourth equality. Now the only thing that we have to do is plot. So we have our 4 marks done. So here we can flip because we already have 8 marks, or actually not. We can move on to other questions because you've already exceeded an average of, so you're already above average, so you can proceed to other questions. This is how you pass maths. Know how to find your inequalities, know how to plot well, get at least greater than max, then you're good to go. So 2 centimeters to represent 10 bottles on the x-axis and y-axis, and it's going to 8. So here we are saying 10, 20, 40, 50, 70, 8 on both axes. X representing small bottles. Really, can you fail to do this? You cannot. So 0, got me excited. So 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, x-axis, small bottles. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 Y large bottles. So easy. Now that, actually, let me use this arrow. First is the other way. Mathematics exam coming for you. Okay, then the other line, which is the x-axis. Okay, so now the only thing that we have to do is plot the inequalities. So the first inequality that we are plotting is this one here, which is x is greater or equal to 10. So we're just plotting the line x is equal to 10 on the x-axis, which is parallel to the y-axis. So we just locate 10, and it will be this line here. You can't fail to do this. The math is, I'm not training my brain, I have my calculator, I'm just shading the line. So let's find the solution set. Equal to 10 is on this line, greater than 10 is to the right. So the unwanted region is to the left. So we're going to shade this region there. Proudly, with confidence. Then the other inequality that we are plotting for the large bottles, we do not want more than 60 bottles. So we are plotting this line, y equals 60, which is parallel to the x-axis. So we find where there is 60 there, and we just draw it like this. So let's find the solution set so that we know where to shade. So y has to be less or equal to 60. So y is equal to 60 there. Y is equal to 60 there, and it's less than 60 below. So our answer is below, meaning we're shading the unwanted region, so we're shading above the line. Great. Then let's now plot this line here. X plus y is less or equal to 80. Remember, la, so we're going to shade above. So let's plot this line. Let's find the x-intercept and y-intercept. So x, y, at first we're going to make x 0, then at second we're going to make y 0. So when x is 0, y is 8. When y is 0, x is 8. Oof, what am I doing? When x is 0, y is 8. So again, it's the same thing, 8, 8 on both sides. So I've got 0, 8, and 80, 0. These are the coordinates that we're plotting, and it's less than, so we're shading above the line. So it's this line here from 80 to 8. So it's that line there. Since it's less than, we're going to shade above. So this is the line x plus y is less or equal to 8. Then the last line, which is y is equal to 2x, is this same line here. Y is equal to x. So this line here, y is equal to x. So we're cutting origin and we're going like that. that we want to plot this line which says y is greater or equal to 2x. So GB, what's up GB? If it's greater than, you shade below the line. So I'm going to shade below the line with confidence. Everything below this line is shade. So our solution set is this region here. Color it in yellow because I highlight in green. So this is our solution set. And we can even go sleep. Okay, again, no, don't go sleep, go solve other questions. Because we've already have 8 marks, we have got this beautiful shaded region there. So the only thing that's left now is to answer these boring questions here, which says the profit on each small bottle of mineral water is 1 kwacha 15 ngwe, while on the large bottle it's 2 kwacha 15 ngwe. How many bottles of each type can be bought to make a maximum profit? So once again, you can see that the maximum profit on large bottles is at 60, is between this region here. Between 60 and whatever value is here, maybe this would be 10, maybe it's 12. So we have to find the length here. I'll just approximate it as 12. So 60 minus 12, that would be 48. So maximum number of large bottles. So large bottles, 48. So 48 large bottles. Then for okay, I started with the large bottles. So for 48 large bottles. Then for the small bottles, the highest number of small bottles is between this region here, which is between 40 and 10, so it will be 30. So maximum 30 small bottles. So 30 small bottles. So to find the maximum profit, that would be 48 multiplied by large bottles is 2 kwacha 15 ngwe, plus 30 multiplied by 1.5, 1 kwacha 15 ngwe. So the maximum profit will say 48 multiplied by 2.50, 120. Then 30 multiplied by 1 kwacha 15 ngwe, that would be 45. So our maximum profit will be 120 plus 45. That would be 165 kwacha will be the maximum profit that this is to make. So once again, for programming, the advice I can give you is know your straight lines, how to draw straight lines. After knowing how to draw straight lines, you have to now learn how to shade. Where are you supposed to shade? Which region? Where is my solution set? Remember just 2 words. It's less than, shade above, that's la. Then you remember your WhatsApp G. If it's greater than, you're shading below the line. And that's it. You can write down your, if they say at least, that's greater or equal to, not more than, less or equal to. So know those English terminologies. Know how to write down your inequalities and know how to plot this simple line, a simple graph, and know how to shade. Then like that, 8 marks are yours. And you get your credit or your merits, and you even leave the exam room. So this has been Brainworks Education. Thanks for the support. I will see you in the next video.